Swami Vivekananda's philosophy of education. The educational philosophy of Vivekananda is a harmonious synthesis between the ancient Indian ideals and modern Western beliefs. He not only stressed upon the physical, mental, moral, spiritual, and vocational development of the child, but also advocated women education as well as education of the masses. The essential characteristics of the educational philosophy of Swami Vivekananda are idealism, naturalism, and pragmatism. Vivekananda said, "Religion is the innermost core of education. Religion is like the rice and everything else is like the curries. Taking only curries causes indigestion, and so is the case with taking rice alone. Therefore, religious education is a vital part of a sound curriculum." Vivekananda considered Gita, Upanishads, and the Vedas as the most important part of the curriculum. For him, religion is attainment of self-realization and divinity. It helps not only in individuals' development but also in the transformation of total man. He realized truth while practicing religion. Truth is power. Untruth is weakness. Knowledge is truth. Ignorance is untruth. Thus, truth increases power, courage, and energy. It is the source of light and therefore necessary for the individual as well as the collective welfare. Moral and religious education develops self-confidence among young men and women. Education is not only confined to the well-to-do persons but also the proper people. Vivekananda emphasized on the improvement of conditions of masses, and for this he advocated mass education. He looked upon mass education as an instrument to improve the individual as well as society. Self-education is the self-knowledge. That is, knowledge of our own self is the best guide in the struggle of our life. Vivekananda considered women to be the incarnation of power. He rightly pointed out that unless Indian women secure a respectable place in this country, the nation can never move forward. He said, "Make women strong, fearless, and conscious of their chastity and dignity." He insisted that men and women are equally competent not only in the academic matters but also in other spheres of life. Vivekananda, being a keen observer, could distinguish in the difference in perception about the status of women in the West and in India. The ideal woman in India is the mother first and the mother last. Vivekananda pleaded for universal education so that the backward people may fall in line with others. He said, education should spread to every household in the country, to factories, playgrounds, and agricultural fields. If the children do not come to school, the teacher should reach them. 2 or 3 educated men should team up, collect all the paraphernalia of education, and should go to the village to impart education to the children. Aim of education according to Swami Vivekananda. According to Swami Vivekananda, the following should be the main aims of the education. The aim of reaching perfection. The prime aim of education is to achieve fullness of perfection already present in a child. According to Swamiji, all material and spiritual knowledge is already present in man, covered by a curtain of ignorance. Education should tear off that veil so that the knowledge shines forth as an illuminating torch to enliven all the corners by and by. This is meant by achieving fullness of the latent perfection. Physical and mental development aim. The second aim of education is the physical and mental development of the child so that the child of today, after studying Gita, is able to promote national growth and advancement as a fearless and physically well-developed citizen of tomorrow. Stressing the mental development of the child, Swamiji wished education to enable the child to stand on his own legs economically rather than becoming a parasite on others. Moral and spiritual development. According to Swami Vivekananda, a nation's greatness is not only measured by its parliamentary institutions and activities, but also by the greatness of its citizens. But the greatness of citizens is possible only through their moral and spiritual development, which education should foster. Character development aim. According to Swamiji, character development is a very important aim of any education. For this, he emphasized the practice of brahmacharya, which fosters development of mental, moral, and spiritual powers, leading to the purity of thoughts, words, and deeds. The aim of development, faith in one's own self, Shraddha, and a spirit of renunciation. All through his life, Swamiji exhorted the individuals to keep full confidence upon their powers. They should inculcate a spirit of self-surrender, sacrifice, and renunciation of material pleasures for the good of others. Education should foster all these qualities in the individual. He gave us this call to his countrymen: arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is achieved. The aim of searching unity in diversity. The true aim of education is to develop insight into the individuals so that they are able to search out and to realize unity in diversity. Swami Vivekananda Ji has further asserted that physical and spiritual worlds are one. Their distinctness is an illusion, Maya. Education should develop this sense which finds unity in diversity. Religious development aim. To Swamiji's, religious development is an essential aim of education. To him, each individual should be able to search out and develop the religious seed embedded in him and thus find the absolute truth or reality. Hence, he advocated the training of feelings and emotions so that the whole life is purified and sublimated. Then only the capacities of obedience, social service, and submission to the teachings and preachings of great saints and saviors will develop in the individual. Education should foster this development. Curriculum. According to Swami Vivekananda, the prime aim of education is spiritual growth and development. But this does not mean that he did not advocate material prosperity and physical well-being. He feelingly advocated the inculcation of all those subjects and activities in the curriculum which foster material welfare with spiritual advancement. For spiritual perfection, Swamiji prescribed religious, philosophy, Puranic lore, Upanishads, company of saints and their preachings, and for material advancement and prosperity, he recommended languages, geography, science, political science, economics, psychology, art, agriculture, industrial and technical subjects together with games, sports and other physical exercises. Swami prescribed the same ancient spiritual methods of teaching wherein the Guru and his disciples lived in close association as in a family. The essential characteristics of those religious and spiritual methods were as under: to control fleeting mental faculties by the practice of yoga, to develop the mind by concentration and deep meditation, to gain knowledge through lectures, discussions, self-experience and creative activities, to imitate the qualities and character of teacher, intelligent and clear understanding, to lead the child on the right path by means of individual guidance by the teacher. Place of child. Like Froebel, Vivekananda emphasized the education to be the child-centered. According to him, the child is the store and repository of all learning material and spiritual. Like a plant, a child grows by his own inner power naturally. Hence, advising the child to grow naturally and spontaneously, Vivekananda asserted, "Go into your own and get the Upanishads out of your own shelf. You are the greatest book that ever was or will be. Until the inner teacher opens, all outside teaching is in vain." Place of teacher. Swamiji believed in self-education. According to him, each of us is his own teacher. The external teacher only guides and inspires the inner teacher, soul, to rise up and start working to develop the child. Hence, discussing the role of teacher, Swami Vivekananda said, "Teacher is a philosopher, friend and guide, helping the educand to go forward in his own way."